Okay, welcome to the second training session on PYTHA. So in this training session, we will be covering on how to create a block and also how to move it around. Okay, so we have three methods of creating a block. The first method, we call it the click, drag and pull method. So let's go to the menu. Okay, let's go to parts and you can click on block. Okay, you can see your mouse turning into a diagram, into this funny looking with a different axis color. Okay, what you can do here is I want you to click and hold down your mouse, pull it out so that you can have you can see the surface growing, and when you let go, okay, pull it up to a height that you are happy with before you click the left button again. So this method is what we call the click, drag and pull method. Okay, so let's delete this, right click, delete and try it again. Okay, go to the block, click on it. Okay, click on your mouse, left hand side, hold it down, drag it open, let go, pull it up. When you're happy with the height, click it again. So this is the first way that we can create a block. We call it the click, drag and pull method. Okay, second way we're going to do it is we will use the click and enter method. So same thing, click on block. Anywhere along here, you can just click anywhere you're happy with, and then you can create and then you can key in. Okay, you can click and enter. What I mean by enter is you enter the dimension of the block that you want. So this time I might want to do a 700 by 400 by 18 mm panel. Okay, so you can see that I've entered the dimension over here, and when I'm done, I'll hit enter, and PYTHA creates this block for me nicely according to the dimension that I've created. So with this panel, I'm going to show you how I can copy this panel. Okay, what do I can right click here, copy, and you can see a gizmos appear. So this is where you can determine the direction that you want PYTHA to copy. So I can copy it in the, how I can use it is if I want to go in the X direction, I'll put my mouse at a red arrow, click it once, and you can see a copy of a panel of this block has been pulled out from there. So I can also copy it upwards. So click copy, and I click on the Z direction, and you can see that I have copied one panel to the right and one panel upwards. Okay, so this is the first method of copying, click and drag method. Okay, let's delete this, and I'm going to show you the second method of copying. So the second method is called the click and enter method as well. So what I'll do, I'll right click on the panel, copy, and you can see that the gizmos appear. Ignore this gizmos. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter the dimension that we are going to move it. How are we going to do it? You can see over here, okay, XYZ axis. Okay, so if I want to move this panel, copy it to the right by 800 millimeters, what I can do is I can click enter 800 and enter. So they will ask me, PYTHA will ask me, how many copies do I want to do? I'll click 1, enter. So you can see that PYTHA immediately shifts a copied version of it to the right by 800 millimeters. Okay, we can do it again in the Z direction. So copy. Okay, what we're going to do is that look at the dimension here. Because if I want to click in the Z direction, move it in the Z direction, I will need to do comma, comma, 800. What happens here is that I am following the dimension the way that PYTHA speaks to me. So distance in X direction, comma, distance in Y direction, comma, distance in Z direction. So I want to do it in Z direction. I'll do comma comma, because 0 we do not need to key it in. So I only need to do a comma, enter, hit enter. Python again asks me how many copies do I want. Okay, this time maybe I'll do 2 copies. I click enter. So when I double click on my mouse, you can see that PYTHA automatically orientate itself to the middle, and you can see that I have 2 copies of this over here. So I'm going to delete some of the panels that I don't want. Okay, so leaving only 2 panels. So with these 2 panels, I'll show you how we can create a block using the 3rd way of creating a block. So I'm going to, this is the 3rd way, and we call it the point to point method. So press on the block, I'm going to click on this point here, top panel, and I'll click on this point here at the bottom panel. So you can see automatically PYTHA calculates the Y and the Z axis, the dimensions of it, and now it's asking me for what is thickness, what's the X axis dimension that I want, and I'm going to key in 18 mm. You can see that PYTHA's created in the 18 mm direction, and enter. So with this method, okay, I created the point to point method. I used the point to point method to create a panel. Okay, so now I'm going to use the 3rd method of moving. Okay, the 3rd method of moving is also called point to point. Let me show you how we can do it. I'm going to right click, copy. This time I'll ignore the gizmos because I'm not going to use it. I'm going to ignore this command line as well. What I will do, I'm going to click on this point here. Make sure it's on the inner side of the board. Okay, this point here, and you can see a red arrow appear. So I'm going to pull it and match it to the end of the panel and click. So what I'm trying to tell PYTHA here is that this block, I want this point here, okay, to match here. So in this way you can create a carcass that's flushed. Okay, once that's done, I will click only X, enter. So you can see right now I have a nicely done carcass. Get a simple carcass in this. So now we have created a carcass using blocks and using a copy method. So this is the end of our tutorial, okay, on creating blocks. Thank you.